When Karens decide to mess with the wrong judge, they quickly discover that their entitled antics and rude behavior are no match for the sharp wit and unwavering authority of a seasoned judge.
That's not? To list. She can't go down to the condom list and get an application? This is standard practice, Your Honor.
In the courtroom, these Karens were served a hefty dose of reality, leaving them humbled, silenced, and perhaps even a few dollars short. Let's start with the crazy courtroom saga starring Brian Novel, the rule-breaking rebel. So Judge John Hurley is laying down the law and reading off the charges against Novel. And boy oh boy, Novel is not a happy camper when he hears how much he's gonna owe. But instead of accepting his fines and restraining orders like a responsible adult, Novel decides to retaliate.
Court finds there is a danger to the victim. Court's going to set count 1 at $10,000. Count 2, court's going to set that bond at $10,000. Court's going to order he has no direct or indirect contact with Jesus Noval. No direct or indirect contact. Must stay 500 feet away from him at all times. I'm going to order that he's not in possession of any guns, weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Court's also going to revoke his bond on 098502 CF10. You're going to be held no bond, sir, until further order of the court. Thank you.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. That's the truth. You're not going anywhere. That's the truth. All right, thanks.
He starts by expressing his disbelief about the whole situation, but Judge Hurley ain't having any of it. He stands firm in his ruling, showing zero sympathy for Novel's antics. And you know what? The judge is right. Going after someone with a knife is no joke, my friends.
All right, Suzanne Wall.
My charge was battery.
Oh, wow, I know, man. But that's the way life is. What did he say?
But Novel doesn't back down. He storms away from the stand, swearing at the judge like there's no tomorrow. Let me tell you, being rude in the courtroom is a big no-no. The judge wastes no time in holding Novel accountable for his misconduct. But wait, it gets even funnier. The judge asks Novel to repeat what he said, and guess what? Novel openly admits to insulting the judge. Oops! The judge warns him that he could be held in contempt of court, but Novel's half-hearted apology falls on deaf ears.
I called you a because you're...
Did you?
The charges I had yesterday.
Okay, hold on a second, sir.
Battery charge.
Sir, this court is inclined to hold you in contempt of court, and I want to know from you, give me a reason why I should not hold you in contempt of court.
I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be, because there's not a reason this should be here.
Okay, sir, I find you in contempt of court for using that type of language with the court you just used, and before I pass sentence on you, I'm going to ask you if you have anything to say before I pass sentence.
I apologize, I was out of line. I'm just upset because this is not what I was charged with yesterday.
Okay,
I was
sir.
charged with a battery.
I accept your apology, and I will sentence you to 60 days in the Broward County Jail.
The judge sentences him to 60 days in jail. Talk about a major backfire. Oh, but the laughs don't stop there, my friends. Novel jokes about taking his insult back, thinking he can just undo his mistake. But oh boy, he couldn't be more wrong. The judge holds him in contempt of court yet again and adds another 60 days to his sentence. That's a total of 120 days in jail. Lesson learned, Novel. Silence is the best defense.
Can I take the back in?
All right, sir, hold it. Come on back. Come on back, sir. Sir, Sir, I'm inclined to hold you in contempt of court again. Would you like to tell me why I should not hold you in contempt of court for the last thing you just said?
I asked if you're allowed to do that for me.
All right. I find you in contempt of court for the second time you said that. Do you have anything else you'd like to say in mitigation of the second sentence I'm about to hand down?
I was just asking my attorney if he can do that.
All right, sir, you have nothing. I'm going to send you to another 60 days to run consecutive to the prior 60 days. So now you're up to 120 days in the Broward County Jail. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Nah.
All right, sir, thank you very much. You're done.
I didn't even know you can do that.
All right, thank you.
What happens when you decide to act dumb before a judge? Wait for this next video.
The testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury.
I would like to call...
Ma'am, stop. I know you want to control this room, but this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions.
She got herself into trouble for violating a courtroom order. The judge, trying to maintain order, asks Karen to raise her right hand and swear to tell the truth. But does she comply? Nah, she decides to sassily tell the judge that this isn't Burger King and she can't have it her way. Oh, Karen, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury. Yes or no? Are you going to tell the truth?
The judge isn't having any of Karen's nonsense. He shuts her down faster than you can say hold the pickles. He reminds her that she's in his courtroom, not some fast food joint. Karen, it's time to put your ego on a diet and answer the judge's questions.
Silence, I understand her attorney is on here. Where is her attorney?
He's the Jig back home.
Again, say anything again without telling me you're going to tell the truth, and I will hold you in contempt of court for 93 days. Contempt carries with it 93 days and or $7,500.
And what's the punishment for Karen's defiance? A whopping $7,500 fine and 93 days of contempt of court. Ouch, that's gonna hit her wallet harder than an extra large value meal. But wait, the drama doesn't end there. The judge asks her again where her attorney is, but it seems like they're playing an epic game of hide and seek. Karen remains silent, probably realizing that her snarky comments aren't doing her any favors. The judge, not one to be messed with, warns Karen that she better start understanding the gravity of the situation.
You will not act disrespectful in this court. Do you understand, ma'am? You certainly may remain silent. Where is your attorney?
After what feels like an eternity, Karen's attorney finally shows up. Phew, at least someone's got her back. Eventually, Karen is released from jail, but not before she shuts down her restaurant and forks over a hefty $15,000 fine for contempt of court. Guess her stubbornness didn't pay off, huh? Maybe you've not seen Karen lawyers in the courtroom. You'll sure find one in the next clip.
For my motion for sanctions against Mr. Nicoletti for this vexatious and frivolous PPO.
I'm sorry, on this what?
I have a motion for sanctions
I
against...
know that. And the purpose of the sanctions are based on what?
It was a frivolous and vexatious PPO based on nonsense.
It seems like this Karen's lawyer was in for a fiery showdown with the judge. She is all fired up and decides to go head-to-head with the judge, filing a motion for sanctions against a client for what she calls a vexatious approval PPO. That was a sort of fancy legal jargon. But here's where things take a turn for the rude and shocking. When the judge asks Karen about the purpose of the sanctions, she throws all decorum out the window and delivers a sassy response that'll make your jaw drop. She boldly declares that it's a frivolous indexation PPO based on nonsense. Oh, Karen, did you just call it nonsense? That's not going to win you any points with the judge.
I am not stalking Mr.
I
Nicoletti.
haven't signed a PPO. How can you ask to sanction someone when you haven't even been served?
That's the point. He created a
Stevens,
false...
do not interrupt me when I'm speaking, ma'am.
I have a constitutional right to be heard.
On what basis? There is no case before me, ma'am, other than the fact that you filed this frivolous motion taking up this court's time for no good reason other than your own personal vendetta against this man for whatever reason you may have, and I really don't care because it does not involve me or my court. However, had I issued a PPO, you would have a basis to be before me. I did not issue a PPO. He did not pursue his right to a hearing on the PPO. You were never served, and here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am. I am sanctioning you with costs of $500.
While the judge tries to set things straight, Karen just can't resist interrupting, claiming her constitutional right to be heard. Oh boy, Karen, you might want to brush up on your courtroom etiquette. The judge, now boiling with anger, firmly states that he didn't issue a PPO and that there's no case before her. She points out that Karen was never served, and it seems like the judge has had enough of her antics. She didn't waste any time in unleashing her fury, accusing Karen of wasting everyone's time.
Forthwith to the county clerk's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I knew it was fixed.
I beg your pardon?
I knew it was fixed.
Miss Stevens, I highly suggest that you just exit my courtroom and go pay the sanctions.
In the end, Karen's rude behavior doesn't go unnoticed. The judge decides to teach her a lesson by sanctioning her with a cost of $500. Ouch! That's going to sting both her pride and her wallet. Hopefully next time Karen will think twice before throwing around insults and disregarding courtroom procedures. Oh my goodness, that's quite a shocking and dramatic incident involving this boy who jumped into the judge's presence. So let's unpack this. This young man was already in trouble, as he had been arrested and charged with several battery cases, including an attack on a court-martial that resulted in the court-martial needing over 20 stitches. That's some serious aggression right there.
I'm not out there committing crimes now, and I feel like I should be given a shot.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else, because I just can't with that history.
Initially, it seems like the sentencing for the original battery charges would have been the main concern. But hold on, things take a dark and dangerous twist.
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
This boy suddenly dove at the judge. What the hell is wrong with you, man? It was like watching a real-life action movie, but with less special effects and more bewildered onlookers. After this boy jumps into the judge's presence, he goes on to confess something utterly chilling. He openly admits to the Las Vegas police that his true intention was to kill the judge. Wow, talk about a shocking revelation. With this new information, the situation escalates quickly. Now, on top of the original battery charges, this young man is facing an additional charge for attempted murder. That's a serious offense that carries severe consequences.
Mr. Almacias, here now. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. I am making my calendar page from that day an exhibit for the court, indicating the sentence I intended to impose. All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you, in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. That is the sole purpose for today's hearing.
It's truly alarming to think about the potential harm that could have been done had this boy succeeded in carrying out his sinister plan. Thankfully, his arrest and subsequent confession allowed law enforcement to take swift action and prevent a tragedy from occurring. Let's hope that this incident leads to a thorough evaluation of security measures in courtrooms to prevent such dangerous situations in the future. But what happens when one goes weird before a judge?
Even you don't testify to that.
The
best you have testified to about notice is I do believe there was talks about application.
Exactly.
I'm reading your words, right?
Exactly.
But I don't recall telling her specifically how the process
Exactly.
was.
She was on
that
notice.
is not
There's an
putting her on
application.
notice, Mr. Paulino. She's going to have to fill out a 10-page thing that asks her
That's not.
to list.
She can't
no.
go down to the condom
no,
list
Mr.
and get an
Paulino,
application.
it's not.
This is standard practice, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Paulino, you're dead wrong.
That's your opinion.
No, that's my ruling, pal.
He is even a law student. This male Karen law student just got a lesson in courtroom etiquette that he will never forget. So here's a scoop. The student finds himself on the wrong side of a ruling by the judge, and instead of accepting it with grace, he decides to insult the judge's judgment. In a display of rude behavior, this law student dares to open their mouth and dismissively tell the judge, "That's your opinion." Oh snap, that's like poking a bear with a stick, my friend. The judge, clearly annoyed by the student's insolence, fires back with a stingent retort, saying, "That's my ruling, pal." Ouch. The judge isn't holding back, and they're not afraid to put this student in their place. But wait, it gets even juicier. The judge, filled with righteous fury, takes it a step further by expressing their disappointment and disrespect for the student, even mentioning that they taught at the University of Miami, but this student is even worse than that.
And let me tell you something, Mr. University of Miami Law School. I taught at UM for many, many years, and you right now are embarrassing us. You do not show that kind of disrespect, okay? If you don't like what the judge is doing, then you take it to the next forum. But you do not sit here and say that's your opinion like a baby when a judge rules against. Don't even utter another word. You got a lot to learn about what it means to be a litigator and a lawyer.
I want to be
Good, because you don't have it in you. But you got a lot to learn about what it means to be a member of the Florida Bar. And if you think that this kind of petulance and babiness on your part to turn around and tell a judge who you disagree with, well, that's your opinion, is going to get you anywhere, you are sorely mistaken. If there's nothing you should have learned in the last 2 years as a law student, there's something you should have learned as a human growing up, that you do not show that kind of disrespect. You don't like it, take it to the hallway. But you do not look a judge in the face, because I don't care what you think about me. You got to respect this process. And if there's anybody who I expect to respect this process, it's a second-year law student at the University of Miami.
Double ouch. That's a scathing comment that's sure to leave a mark on the student's ego. The judge doesn't stop there. She drops another truth bomb on the student, advising him that with expressions like, "That's your opinion," he won't go far in his legal career. The judge is actually saying, "Hey kid, you better shape up if you want to succeed in this profession." And if insulting words weren't enough, the student is hit where it hurts the most, their wallet. The judge doesn't let their disrespectful behavior go unpunished and imposes a fine of $450 and court costs on him. That's a lesson that'll hit his bank account harder than a casebook hitting the floor.